This is subsistence fishing. Each Alaska resident is allowed to net and catch fish for their personal and family use. My family is allowed to keep 60 salmon. You can't do this just anywhere, and there are a lot of rules and requirements for subsistence fishing, and it's not easy. Our goal is to use a gillnet to catch salmon at Main Bay in Prince William Sound.
34.
All right, we got our crew together. We got our nets. We got our boat ready. We got gassed up. All right, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. My name is Owen Alla, and I was born and raised on a homestead on the Kenai Peninsula. I'm here with my son and brother-in-law, and we are headed out of the Whittier Harbor with a goal of subsistence fishing in Main Bay. This is my last summer with my oldest son at home before he leaves for college. I grew up commercial fishing with my grandfather in the Cook Inlet, but we don't commercial fish anymore. I feel guilty that I haven't been able to get my kids the same experience picking fish out of a gillnet that I had as a kid. So when I learned about subsistence fishing in Main Bay, I thought I could not pass up this opportunity to teach my family how to fish with a gillnet. On the way out to Main Bay, we had to stop because there's this little juvenile whale launching itself out of the water. Subsistence fishing is only available to Alaska state residents. Fish caught through subsistence fishing cannot be sold or traded and are only to be used for personal and family consumption. Essentially, subsistence fishing is used by Alaskans to stock the freezer with fish to be used for the next year. Each person and family are allotted a specific number of fish they are allowed to catch.
Wow.
He's coming right at us. A pod of porpoises found us and start bow riding our boat. Bow riding is when a pod of porpoises essentially surf the wave created by the bow of the boat. The boat creates an underwater wave of injury that propels the porpoises forward, similar to what a human surfer does riding a wave on a surfboard. The porpoises have learned to play in this underwater wave and seek out boats in Prince William Sound to bow ride. The porpoises bow ride for typically around 5 to 10 minutes, and then they seem to just get bored and move on. The hatchery at Main Bay produces sockeye salmon. The hatchery pays for its operations through a cost recovery process. These are images from a few years ago in Main Bay of one of the seining boats pulling in a load of sockeye for the hatchery cost recovery. The hatchery will sell the fish from this boat and pay for the hatchery operations. You can see the seine barrier rope and the net that blocks off the hatchery from the rest of the bay. Private fishermen are allowed to come to Main Bay and snag salmon. We have come many years in the past and snagged salmon, and these are videos of my kids snagging salmon in Main Bay from years past. Once the cost recovery process is ended and the hatchery has collected enough salmon for the hatchery operations, Main Bay is then opened up to commercial fishermen, and they collect the remaining salmon and sell them for profit. Subsistence fishing with a gillnet is allowed on Saturdays. Main Bay is truly a sustainable fishery that creates and funds new salmon stock each year. All right, we got the boat beached.
Yep.
Now we got to figure out our net. Up there's the head of Main Bay. Right in there. All right, we got beached here in Main Bay, so now I got to figure out this net. So I grew up commercial fishing with my grandfather in the Cook Inlet, but I was a kid when we were commercial fishing, and I was probably just mostly in the way.
Saw how they had all the nets out there?
You observe a lot growing up doing that, but this is the first time I'm actually doing it by myself, so. There's a lot of boats over there in the head of Main Bay, over by the hatchery that they got their nets out, so we're gonna get mine out. We're gonna. All right, dude, this net looks sick, man. This thing's ready to roll.
You haven't even opened it yet.
No, it's the first time.
I know.
This looks awesome. Look at this. This looks fantastic.
Man, that looks sick.
All right, Ryder, I'm gonna need your help.
What do you need, Owen?
I'm not really exactly sure. Here's the net. It's kind of folded up on itself. They kind of just rolled the net up in an overhand knot. And here's the bottom of the net. This is super heavy right here.
Okay.
This is all lead line, and it's gonna sink to the bottom and put the net on the bottom here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the cork line up here, and this floats on top. So then we gotta spread it all out. We gotta get one side out there farther. Yeah, why don't we try that?
Well, when you back it out?
Yeah, I mean, so we'd be coming off like this to the side,
Yeah.
or we take out the bow.
I was thinking we'd take it out the bow.
Could do that.
feel like that'd be the easiest way. Yeah. But where's each side?
It takes a lot of attention to detail to pull the net out without getting tangled or snagged. You definitely want some people to help you out while you do this. In this specific case, the wind was blowing us from left to right in the image and blowing the net towards the bank. And I had to make a very deliberate effort to pull the net away from the bank, keep the net from getting pushed up onto shore. We got the gillnet out there. We pulled in our first fish. I think you saw that first fish. 150 feet of net. It really doesn't look that much, but it is, the biggest thing is everything about this subsistence fishing and gillnet fishing is all about making sure you don't tangle anything, getting tangles out. So I think we did a pretty good job. It's all laid out. We got a couple more hits in there. Let's see what happens. We're gonna leave it for a minute and let it soak and see what happens. I'm pretty excited about this. It's awesome. Once you got the net in the water and pull out the length, then the net's soaking and fishing. And you don't want to leave the net in the water for too long because if you get too many fish in the net, it can be a total disaster. It's happened to us before while we were commercial fishing. There was a moderate amount of fish in main bay today, so we let the net soak about 1 hour before we started picking the fish out. Alrighty, so let's put it, I don't want to string it all the way across. I want to put it right here. So I want all the net in the middle, and I want all the cork on this side over here.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to kind of go back and forth here, and then I want you to go back and forth there.
Oh yeah.
With the net in the middle here, and we're gonna try and we're gonna keep those out, the ends out. Okay, perfect. And then you're just gonna pull it up. You gotta pull up the net in the middle, and then try and keep it as minimally tangled as possible. So then we got a first fish in here. So check this out. This is what you gotta do. Fish is totally tangled, so pull them up here a little bit more, and then this guy. So see, he's dropping out this other direction. Once they drop, they'll drop. So I got them out there, and at some point you got to kind of yank them a little bit, but then they're around their gills, and this is what it's called, the gillnet. So take it out of their gill.
Oh man. And then we have to cut the tails right
So this guy's like halfway all the way through, trying not to break the net. There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Good try. I'll grill it.
You trim the
Are you
tails.
griller?
Once the fish is caught through subsistence fishing in Prince William Sound, you have to immediately cut the upper and lower lobes of the tail fin. This is to mark that the fish has been caught through subsistence fishing so that it cannot be resold for any commercial use. And Alaskans are actually very serious about this because we don't want fish that have been caught through subsistence fishing to be sold on the open market and have the resource depleted. We want to make sure that subsistence fishing stays sustainable through the future. How's it looking?
It's looking pretty good, actually.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Fish there. More fish out there. We are getting some fish, aren't we?
These guys eat plankton at sea, so they're really hard to, they're not really aggressive biters like silver salmon. But man, they're the best eating.
I'm just gonna
Throw it away from the net.
that would be great.
That's perfect.
Boy. Oh, he's still alive. Yeah, I mean, honestly.
Wow.
Wait here, let me get him first, right here. Dude, it's like
Christmas.
Jesus came by and got all these fish in here for him.
It's the miracle.
Oh, he's right.
Subsistence fishing is part of the culture of who we are as Alaskans. There are a number of areas Alaska state residents can subsistence fish. It seems that most Alaskans who live in south central Alaska subsistence fish by dip netting the mouth of the Kenai and Kasilof rivers. I have many friends who travel to Soldotna during July to dip net the mouth of the Kenai River. It has become a cultural phenomenon and a yearly migration of people to the Kenai Peninsula for a few weeks. Many people go to the Chitna and the Copper River system also. I have a good friend whose name is Ryan Ford, who is a guide on the Copper River, and he takes out locals on the river to subsistence fish their allotments. Ryan Ford is amazing, and definitely look him up. Subsistence fishing in these areas is done with a handheld net called a dip net. However, these areas can get congested with people dip netting for salmon. There can be an extreme amount of pressure placed on the environment and the shoreline at these locations. Also, other species of salmon, like the struggling wild stock of king salmon, require these rivers for their life cycle. A large mass of people fishing these rivers will put pressure on the king salmon populations, even if they're not directly targeted. More people should consider using Main Bay and Prince William Sound for their source of subsistence sockeye salmon. The Main Bay fishery is created by a hatchery at the head of Main Bay. Because these salmon are from our hatchery, you do not endanger the wild run of sockeye, and there are no king salmon in this fishery, which means that you can take pressure off the struggling and possibly even endangered wild king salmon populations of the Kenai and Kasilof and other rivers around Alaska. Also, subsistence fishing Main Bay is accomplished from a boat, so you do not degrade the riverbanks or the shoreline, which makes this area possibly the most environmentally safe and sustainable fishery that I'm aware of.
One right here.
Nice.
Oh, you might.
Is there one more? Looks like there's another one.
Yep.
Good job, guys.
Crawl from the
Got 3 more there. I learned how to use a gillnet with my grandfather, who homesteaded in Alaska. I'm a 3rd-generation Alaskan fisherman, and this makes my kids 4th-generation Alaskan fishermen. And I'm very thankful that I have the opportunity to teach my kids how to use a gillnet, even though we don't commercial fish anymore. Subsistence fishing is part of our culture as Alaskans. We got this rope right here. We're gonna cut some pieces of the rope off, and we're gonna tie one right below the corks, right below the lead line, and then right in the middle.
So you want me to pick up the middle of the netting and so that it all kind of like...
Yeah, so you kind of cradle all the middle of it. And we'll tie one rope there. So we want at least 3 ropes on this. Try and keep it all separated.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is gonna do it, but at least it's better than nothing, you know?
Yeah, it'll keep them separated at least.
So now, Ryder, you
Yep.
do the same thing. Pull the corks as far away as you can go. Let's tie another one by the corks.
How many we end up with?
We didn't count yet.
Oh, okay.
Let's count them right now. How many we allowed? We allowed 60 fish.
Yeah. Am I gonna hit anything? I'm lowering it down.
You're good. We got plenty of water here. You can start heading out too.
Oh well.
5, 26, 30, 33, 34.
All right, last thing we gotta do is get to that tunnel. It's what time is it, Brian?
10:35 almost.
10:35. Last tunnel's at 11. And we just got to Passage Canal, so we gotta get all the way through Passage Canal, about 10 miles. We gotta get in the harbor. We gotta get our truck from parking, which is like a half mile away. Back it up, get it loaded before the last tunnel at 11 o'clock. The tunnel will close at 11:15, so let's see if we can make it happen. So we got about 30 salmon, 34 salmon, guys.
34, yeah.
All right, let's see if we can do this. We got 11:50. Last tunnel, no, sorry, 10:50 right now. Last tunnel, 11. It's always last second, but we're gonna make it.